weeks ago, the speaker was commenting on how Jesus shows up in the very first book of the Bible, which was written by Moses at least 1,500 years before Jesus was born as a baby in Bethlehem. Truth be told, Jesus shows up in some form or another in all of the Old Testament books. Sometimes he shows up in type or foreshadowing. Sometimes the references are a little mysterious and you have to look closely to see him. But other times, the references are very obvious. Isaiah was a prophet who lived 700 years before Jesus. Here are a few of the verses he wrote that are obviously pointing forward to a time when Jesus would be born.
Isaiah 7, verse 14. Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Immanuel. Isaiah 9, verse 6, 7. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and he will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end upon the throne of David, and over his kingdom, to order it and establish it with judgment and justice from the time forward, even forever.
All throughout the Old Testament times, the people were looking for Immanuel, the deliverer, the redeemer, the Messiah, the Saviour. The Old Testament was closed in about 400 BC, after the book of Malachi was written. God stopped talking to the people through his prophets, and there were 400 years of silence. But the people never stopped waiting for the Saviour. And then, as the Apostle Paul said in Galatians 4, verse 4, but when the fullness of time had come, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, the city of David, in a stable at the back of a crowded inn, a way that nobody expected.
And it came to pass in those, Luke 2, verse 1 to 8. And it came to pass in those days that a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. The census first took place while Quirinius was governing Syria, so all went to be registered, everyone to his own city. Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed wife, who was with child. So it was that while they were there, the days were completed for her to be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and wrapped him in swaddling cloths, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Now there were in the same country shepherds living out in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. Then the angel said to them,
Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, who is Christ the Lord.
And this will be the sign to you. You will find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger.
And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying,
Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill.
Let us go to Bethlehem to see this thing that has come to pass.
When Jesus was born in Bethlehem, he was born in a stable at the back of an inn that was so crowded, Mary and Joseph couldn't get a room with a bed. Contrary to what some of the carols say, it was loud and very busy in Bethlehem on that holy night. The people were too busy to appreciate God's gift to the world, the very thing that they had been waiting for so many years. Jesus was laid in a manger, a box normally used to store food for the animals. His first visitors were shepherds, the lowest ranked of all the citizens. A very strange way for the Son of God to be brought into this world. And here we are, more than 2,000 years later, the world is still loud and still very busy. Do we take time to listen to that still small voice that is inside of every one of us? The one that tells us that Christ is near.